Hey, shalom, family. Hey, this is Aaron Ben Israel. Hey, I just wanted to share a few scriptures concerning Proverbs 30 and 4. Let's take a look at the names according to scripture. Who has ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who has gathered the winds in his fist? Who has bound the waters in a garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name, if you can tell? Okay, what we're going to do is try to tell, according to the scriptures, what is the name of the Father and the Son. So first, let's jump over to Psalm 68 and 4. It says, Sing unto God, sing praises to his name, extol him that rides upon the heavens by his name Jah, and rejoice before him. Well, we know that the letter J is only approximately 400 years old. So the name in this verse would be Yah. As the name of the Father, it would be Yah. Let's jump over to Isaiah 11, 1 through 10. Isaiah 11, 1 through 10. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. Okay, a branch will grow out of his roots. And the spirit of Yah shall rest upon him, and the spirit of wisdom and understanding, and the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Yah, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of Yah. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And that's verse 4 actually lines up with Revelations 19:15 and 19:21. But we're not going to jump over that because that's a little off topic. Just wanted to throw that in there. And the righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithful the girdle of his reins. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf, and the young lion, and the fatling together. And a little child shall lead them. And the cow and the bear shall feed. Their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. And the suckling child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hands on the cockatrice den. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my set apart mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of Yah, as the waters cover the sea. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. So it says, there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. Okay, so we're going to continue to look at this branch, because Isaiah 11 is definitely talking about the reign of the Messiah, where there's peace all throughout the earth. So let's jump over to Jeremiah 33. Jeremiah 33, 14 through 17 says, Behold, the days come, says Yehoshua, that I will perform that good thing which I have promised unto the house of Israel and to the house of Judah. In those days and at that time I will cause the branch of righteousness to grow up unto David, and he shall execute judgment and righteousness in the land. Okay, so here we have that branch again that will grow up unto David, a branch of righteousness. Verse 16, In those days shall Judah be saved, and Jerusalem shall dwell safely, and this is the name wherewith he shall be called, Yehoshua our righteousness, because it's Yehoshua that's saving the nation of Israel. It's Yehoshua that's gathering us. It's Yehoshua that will be ruler of the earth. All authority is given unto him. So, verse 17, For thus says Yehoshua, David shall never want a man to sit upon the throne of the house of Israel. Okay. So there again, we have that branch of righteousness. So now let's jump over to Zechariah 3. Zechariah 3, 1 through 8. And he showed me Yehoshua the high priest standing before the angel of Yah, and Satan standing at his right hand to resist him. And Yehoshua said unto Satan, Yah rebuke you, O Satan, even Yah that has chosen Jerusalem, rebuke you. Is not this a brand plucked out of the fire? Now Joshua was clothed with filthy garments and stood before the angel. And he answered and spake unto those that stood before him, saying, Take away the filthy garments from him. And unto him he said, Behold, I have caused your iniquity to pass from you, and I will clothe you with change of raiment. And I said, Let them set a fair mitre upon his head. So they set a fair mitre upon his head, and clothed him with garments. And the angel of Yah stood by. And the angel of Yah protested unto Yehoshua, saying, Thus says Yehoshua of hosts, if you will walk in my ways, and if you will keep my charge, then you shall also judge my house, and also keep my courts, and I will give you places to walk among these that stand by. Hear now, O Joshua the high priest, you and your fellows that sit before you, for they are men wondered at. For behold, I will bring forth my servant the branch. Okay. Joshua the high priest, he's telling that he's going to bring forth the servant the branch. Okay, let's jump over to Zechariah 6 and 11. Zechariah 6, 11 and 12. Then take the silver and gold and make crowns and set them upon the head of Joshua the son of Jehozadak the high priest, and speak unto him, saying, Thus speaks Yehoshua of hosts, saying, Behold, the man whose name is the branch, and he shall grow up out of his place, and he shall build the temple of Yah. And if you look at that, the branch, behold the man whose name is the branch, Yehoshua, put crowns upon the son of Jehozadak, the high priest. So he's next in line to be the high priest, and he's a king because they're sitting crowns upon his head. High priest and a king. And his name is Yehoshua. They have the same name. Joshua and Yehoshua have the same name. And when you look it up, it's either Yehoshua or Yahusha. Yehoshua or Yahusha is the definition that they give for the name of Joshua in the Hebrew. But let's look a little bit further. We're going to look at the spiritual and the fleshly side of the names. Look at the spiritual and the fleshly side of the name. So let's look a little bit further. John 5 and 43. John 5 and 43. He said, I come in my Father's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. Well, he came in his Father's name and his Father's authority. That means his Hebrew name contains the name of the Father. So Yahoshua would mean Yah's salvation, or salvation of Yah. And just like we work for Mr. Smith leave his son in charge. What do we call his son? Mr. Smith. We call his son Mr. Smith as well. And he's in the authority of his father. If we get fired while his father's away, that termination will stand because he's in his father's authority. Same as with Yehoshua. He's in the father's authority. He carries his father's name within his name, Yehoshua. So let's jump over to Matthew 28:19. In Matthew 28:19 it says, Go you therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and of the set apart Spirit. So when we are immersed in the name of the Father, the Son, and the set apart Spirit. So let's jump over and see how they immerse. Acts 2 and 38. Acts 2 and 38. And then Peter or Kepha said unto them, Repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Yahushua Messiah, for the remissions of sins, and you shall receive the gift of the set apart Spirit. So there you go. You're immersed in the name of Yahushua, which contains the Father's name, and the Spirit comes in his name. And let's get that too. John 14 and 26. John 14 and 26. But the Comforter, which is the set apart Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name. The Spirit comes, the Father sends the Spirit connected to his name. He shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you. See that? So the Spirit is the teacher, and it brings everything to the remembrance, our remembrance that the Mashiach has said, Old Testament to New. So we further find that the Father's name is in the Son's name. So we're going to take a look at what the flesh says. Now, the flesh sounds like this. And I'm sure many of you have heard this before. Like, we got the right name over here, or if you're not calling on this name, you won't make the kingdom. Or if you're not calling on this name, then you calling on Satan. And all these different teachings that's in these different groups. That's what the flesh sounds like. So let's read what 1 Corinthians 3 and 3 says. 1 Corinthians 3 and 3 says, For you are yet carnal, for whereas there is among you envying and strife and divisions, are you not carnal and walk as men? And that's what these different teachings under the name, that's what they call us. We are a nation. We didn't come into slavery as organizations, churches, or camps. We came into slavery for our disobedience as a nation. And that's how we're being punished. So it's like these teachings are carnal. They cause divisions and strife and arguing and hatred. You know, the whole back and forth thing. But I'm gonna read just a little bit further in this verse because I think it's all pretty relevant to the topic. So I'm gonna read just a little further. For while one says, I am of Paul, I am of this camp, or I am of Apollos, I'm of this org, or I'm of this church, are you not carnal? Who then is this org, this church, this this group? Who then is Paul and who is Apollos, but ministers by whom you believed? Even as Yehoshua gave to every man. I have planted, Apollos watered, but Yah gave the increase. See that? So then neither is he that plants anything, neither he that waters, but Yah that gives the increase, that gives the understanding, gives the spiritual. We need to connect to the Spirit. That's what this is about, connecting to the Spirit. Not about who's saying the name properly. We're going to look a little further. Now he that plants and he that water are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. For we are laborers together with Yah. You are Yah's husbandry, you are Yah's building. According to the grace of Yah, which is given unto me as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another builds thereon. But every man take heed how he builds upon. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yehoshua Messiah. Okay. I'm going to stop right there. And I want to go over and look at also Galatians 5:19. Galatians 5:19. 5:19 through 21. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, arguing back and forth over the names between the camps, as if we not all brothers and of all one nation. Variance, emulation, wrath, anger. When you're arguing back and forth, you're angry. Strife, sedition and heresies, envyings. We got the name over here. Murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yah. See that? Okay. Now let's look at the fruits of the Spirit. The fruits of the Spirit is love, is joy, is peace. Brings everybody together. Peace, peaceful. Long suffering, patience. Gentleness, goodness, faith. Now let's look at the spiritual side of the name. Let's look at the spiritual side of the name. Because we see that what's coming out of these different groups is of the flesh. So let's take a look at what the Spirit would sound like. Let's take a look at Acts 3:16. Let me see. Yeah, Acts 3:16. And his name, through faith in his name, has made this man strong, whom you see now. Yes, the faith which is by him has given him perfect soundness in presence of you all. Oh, that's not it. Oh, I'm sorry. That is it. And his name through faith in his name. See that? Belief in his name. The faith is belief. And in his name through faith in, and his name through faith in his name has made this man strong. So it's about the belief in the name, the faith in the name. Let's look at John 1:12. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of Yah, even to them that believe on his name. It's the belief on the name. It's not the pronunciation of the name. See, the way the kingdom is set up is incorruptible. If you read the scriptures, understand the scriptures, and do what the scriptures say, you can't fail. It's set up that no man can corrupt the path to the kingdom. But we getting caught up in what men saying instead of connecting to the Spirit that will lead us directly into the kingdom. Did the Messiah not say it is the Spirit that gives life? That's because that's how we get into the kingdom. We won't get into the kingdom of our own will, of our own righteousness, of keeping the law. It's the Spirit within us. It's the Messiah within us. We'll walk like him, we'll sound like him, and we'll do the things that he did. In the Spirit. In the Spirit. We shall be as our master. As he even said that. Okay, let's look over at John 2:23. 2:23. Now when he was in Jerusalem at the Passover and the feast day, many believed in his name when they saw the miracles which he did. See that? Believed in his name. John 3:18. He that believes on him is not condemned, but he that believes not is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of Yah. You see that? What's the belief on the name? What is the belief on the name? That Yah is salvation. That's the belief on the name. He's Yah's salvation, or the salvation of Yah. He's the Father's salvation sent to us for the forgiveness of sin. That's the spiritual. So it doesn't matter if somebody's saying Yahusha, and somebody's saying Yeshaya, or somebody's saying Yehoshua, and somebody's saying Yeshua. It's not the pronunciation. It's the belief on the name. And truth is, I don't think anybody in Israel is in disagreement that he's the Father's salvation. He's Yah's salvation, no matter what name you use. So it's not the pronunciation. It's the belief on the name. See that? Man can't corrupt that, because we know what the name means. And that's why he said, let's look at this last scripture, and I'm going to get off here. Zechariah 3:9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language. See? We arguing over pronunciation. Yahusha or versus Yehoshua, when you look it up as a definition. But when he gives us a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of Yehoshua to serve him with one consent. Because that's who we're going to be serving in the kingdom. He's the king. We're his servants. We don't get to the Father without the Son. You see that? So he know we calling on different names. He know these people trying to confuse us. But the way he set it up is they cannot corrupt it. Even though they tried, it's in vain. The pen of the scribes is in vain. Because it's our belief on the name. And we all believe the same thing on the name. So with that, I'm going to say shalom until next time. Shalom, family.